let your kid have a smartphone?
I honestly don't know if I could give like a real answer for that one.
Overall, they're pretty practical. Maybe 12?
I'd have to say 10 because that's when I got my first smartphone.
8th grade going into freshman year in high school.
I think I would let them have a smartphone. I think high school. I think there are a lot of things in this world that a smartphone can expose your kids to that I wouldn't want my kids exposed to.
What age would you let your kid have a smartphone?
Oh, yeah, this is mine.
You know, honestly, I'd say about 11 or 12.
It's hard. 13, 14 maybe? Probably.
What about you?
I'd say middle school. I mean,
So that's like
what is that?
10, 11,
Yeah.
11,
Yeah.
12.
I'd be like 14 or 15.
Yeah.
I would say 10. That's what I originally said, but that's just because like that's when I got a phone. But
Why would you want them to have it that young? I just want to know the benefits. Because like for me personally, like, I would rather have them later in life. So I want to know why you would want.
I don't know. That was just the age I got a phone. I didn't necessarily have like a concrete reason. I just felt like, oh, like 10. That's when I got a phone. I felt like I was mature enough to get a phone.
Right.
I mean, I know there's
I feel
a
like it
lot of
depends on the
stuff they
kid.
can be exposed to. Yeah, it does depend on the individual. But I'm like, if there was something that I really needed to like block them from, like there's parental controls and stuff, and you can put like it to where the phone locks, like, or
So
you know, and it tracks their screening time, stuff like that.
I don't want my 10-year-old kid to see like the world's gonna end and whatever, because they can see whatever now on the internet. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they can see.
Maybe middle school would be better.
They can see. You know what I'm saying? Like they can see.
Or not even just middle school. Like you have to, with a phone, you have to mature. I don't feel like at 10 or 11 they're mature.
Yeah.
When you're in middle school, it's all about popularity. So like your friend is looking at something.
It's like buying the Instagram.
Yeah,
followers.
like Instagram.
Like let me get these followers. Let me get these followers.
Right.
Like, that's terrible. Like you don't want your kid, you know, greedy for followers at the age of 10.
Sad.
And I think that's a problem that like the older generation has had with us is like they don't realize that we're not mature enough that we weren't mature enough to deal with that, all of that information and all of that freedom.
That responsibility.
We have access to the entire world through one little device, you know?
Yeah.
I think a thing we have to remember is like we're the first generation to have phones as kids.
Yeah.
And that a lot of us don't realize it, but like we're the only ones who know what's good for our kids when it comes to phones.
I mean,
That's
yeah, like
true.
we're like the
Whenever we grow up, you know what I mean?
No, yeah, we really are.
Like just anything that came out like when our parents were age, like they know better for their kids than their parents do for them.
Right.
Just
So
because
true.
because we've had the experience. That's the same thing as like falling down and getting back up. Like we know like the best for our kids when
like
it
our
comes
parents
to
didn't know that we weren't ready, but we know for our kids that they're not ready.
Yep. Parents are giving you tips right here.
Yeah, and it's never gonna end, because our generation, we're gonna know how to deal with our problems, but we're not gonna know how to deal with the problems that we invent.
Right.
We're gonna invent new things. We're gonna invent the new phone, the new technology that our kids are gonna use.
And our kids are gonna experiment with.
And we won't know the impact that it has on our
consequences.
kids.
Yeah.
But we will know how to stop what we've been doing.
Well, yeah, exactly.
That's true.
So it's never gonna end, but I do think that
It'll get better.
it will get better.
Is there anything you wish your parents would have done differently when it came to you getting a phone?
More restrictions.
I definitely think more restrictions, and I think giving it to me like maybe my freshman year. And I say that, but like as a kid, I never would have wanted that.
No,
but
definitely
now,
not. We wanted it,
Definitely now,
but
I wish that I would have gotten my
back,
phone later in life.
Looking
I know
back.
some people that had phones in like 3rd grade, and I was like, oh, I want a phone, but I didn't get one until I was like 10.
So like to follow back on that, my cousin's like 8 years old, right?
Yeah.
She has an iPhone XR.
Right.
I don't even have an iPhone
What?
XR.
That's how my little cousin is.
And to think, you know, like I had to work for my iPhone. Like I had to have I started off with a BlackBerry. That wasn't made till like the 80s, I think.
And something.
So I had to
The
start
80s. No. They had bag phones in the 80s.
Yeah, not the 80s.
1980s.
Did you just say the 80s?
1990.
No, like
They had the phone in their bag. They said, let me call my dad.
Yeah.
Hey, BlackBerry
wasn't in
was
2000.
probably like 1995,
Okay,
maybe
so
2000.
90s.
The
Point
He said
is,
80s.
I started off with an old phone,
Got you,
and she
me
got an
too.
XR.
Uh-huh.
That's not,
Yeah.
no.
Do you think she,
It's okay.
like, does she have social media as an 8-year-old?
Yeah, she has YouTube, she has Instagram.
Does she have a TikTok?
Huh?
No, she has-
Yeah, she has a TikTok.
I want
Oh,
that
no.
to stop.
And I
TikTok
know-
is an
and-
epidemic.
and
Let me
she's gonna
just
be like,
lay that
You're
out
right.
there.
You're right.
Yo,
You're right.
It just doesn't make no sense because I already know that when she gets older, she's gonna be one of those that takes everything for granted, and I don't want that for my cousin.
Yeah.
That
So-
starts a whole nother monster because then when she
Yeah.
gets older, she's gonna want the newest stuff.
My age still stands. I still say 14 to 15.
Yeah, I'm going with that. 8th grade freshman year. I'm moving my age.
We're moving
up.
it.
So
We're
like
moving
8th
it.
grade or freshman
We
year.
got it.
But they're gonna be exposed to so much because like even like like little apps like TikTok or whatever, like there's so much like content and
I feel like people don't realize how much we see with that. Like our parents
like,
don't realize like how much is just like
Yeah, like my
there.
little sibling will
Like,
wrap up on this
All
one.
right, here we go, guys. So, how has this conversation changed the way that you view this topic?
I feel like my age has definitely gone up. Yeah, going up to 14, 15 because
Yeah, I'd probably say
you know, the
same thing.
maturity level and just like what they're being exposed to. Like obviously, yes, they're gonna learn these things anyway, but like let's let them learn it at the age they're probably supposed to.
And it just
Yeah.
builds maturity, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's what most parents like. It just builds their maturity level because they don't have it, it's gonna take a effect on their life way different because they're not gonna
Yes.
be introduced to social media. They're just gonna hear about it. But then when they get it, when they actually get the fun that they've been wanting for like 2-3 years, they're gonna value it way more than they would have did when they wanted it the first time.
Yeah.
So my age stays the same.
yeah, I was gonna ask. What was yours?
14 to 15.
14, 15?
Yeah.
I'd say the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't want them to grow up too fast.
Right.
Like, I was
Still my
wrong.
little
If
baby.
it's because if a 10-year-old gets a phone.
It's wrong.